Yeah, look, I personally would like to see it. I can understand why he would want to move up, especially after getting out to Saudi and getting that payday and now having this big fight in the O2. And certainly, if I'm Turkey Al Sheikh and I'm watching that, I'm thinking, yeah, let's get that rematch like tomorrow. Let's get that on the Fury card on May 18th. These guys are fit. They've just done, a fight of that magnitude. Let's just get them back out again. Get them on that Bivol fight maybe or something. And I think I would imagine Turkey Al Sheikh would want to see that fight again. But yeah, if I'm Fabio Wardley as well, what is he, 17, 18 fights into his pro career at this stage? Is he 17, 0-1, so 18 fights in? I think that he would want to be moving up the levels. And look, there are guys he could definitely beat, even if he skipped the kind of the European level. If he went straight to like a Jarrell Miller type of guy, or that kind of level, there are guys he could beat around there. So I think there's definitely options for him.
Yeah, and just going into the actual fight as well too, in the sense of how exciting it was, and probably the best British heavyweight title fight since Anthony Joshua versus Dylan White, which was a very good fight, I think, back in 2014 and 15. I feel like something for me that Boxer probably needed, and amongst all the noise and amongst all the competition and amongst all the movements that are happening outside in Saudi Arabia, Boxer have kind of stuck to kind of wanting to deliver these domestic card fights and wanting to deliver for UK British fans. So for a heavyweight fight of that magnitude between Wardley and Clarke, who I think Wardley has been exciting, Clarke hasn't been as exciting. So this could and had all the makings of potentially being a stinker, but it wasn't. And I think that's probably one of the bigger W's over the weekend, because Boxer were able to deliver on a platform. Though I done it smilingly after I said one of the big W's, one of the big wins, if you're happy for me to say it in its unabbreviated form, Dunner. But maybe this is something that Boxer needed with the gamble to put this on a Sunday in the lead up to Man City versus Arsenal and get those viewership in, that rising viewership. They needed this to be a real good fight, and it was.
Yeah, I remember asking people why it was on Sunday instead of Saturday, and they were saying, "Oh, because the football and everything else." And I mean, it couldn't have delivered more between someone like Vidal Riley, who kind of bridges the gap with that kind of younger audience. And that performance wasn't fantastic, but then it builds into this big heavyweight showdown, and you get the guy going down and then having to come back up, and all this great fight. So yeah, it certainly it delivered for Boxer, and I think. Maybe not next. Maybe there'll be some movement around. I think before both of these guys have hung up their gloves, they'll have settled this dispute down the line.
So just getting into some of the comments from posts on Boxer's Twitter, Fabio Wardley mentioned that the rematch is an option, but there are different things out there for me. So I completely get that from Fabio's point of view. Maybe not wanting to immediately put himself into a position for a rematch, especially when he doesn't have to. But as well, you kind of elevate yourself as well, don't you, when you give in such a performance that people want to see not only you fight again, but also that fight again too. And it also opens up, when you do that fight in the O2 Arena, maybe you can kind of big it up a little bit more. And he's looking for that Ipswich fight. I don't know how much Ipswich Town Stadium fight. I don't know how much the Ipswich football ground holds, but when you're looking for that sort of date, and when you had, it was interesting really as well too. We're in London, and look, London and Burton, Frazer Clarke is in exactly that sort of area, but Frazer's kind of been working or known to that sort of area, or the more established fighter. A lot of fans in there for Fabio Wardley than there were for Frazer Clarke. Maybe that's because of the footballing background as well too. So in the whole, Fabio Wardley not quite attaching himself to a rematch in full. Dave Colwell on Twitter was saying, felt privileged to watch these two warriors go at it last night. Boxing is a sport that can be the ultimate test of willpower and character. How far are you prepared to take yourself? Fabio Wardley and Big Frazer Clarke showed just how special this sport can be. Definitely one of those special nights as well too, which again adds to one of those reasons why you might want to see this fight again. Fabio Wardley also said too in the post-fight press conference that because he was so marked up, bruised eye, he was cut, he was bloodied, and we've seen this before in the Nathan Gorman fight, where when he's put in those positions, he answers back, he bites back. The nose seems to be a recurring bit of an issue for Fabio, but I don't think it's like the nose bleeding outwardly in the traditional sense. It's like on top of the nose, or like the bridge of the nose, which kind of unique in a sense. But Fabio was saying that through the fight, like he was happy to be entertaining, but he was also worried about what his mum would think about the fight. And when his mum would see him after the fight, CR19 in the chat says, "No way, Wardley fighting a May. That injury needs sorting." And yeah, that leads down to when you've got an injury like that. Maybe if you had plans to fight over in Saudi Arabia, something like that needs proper healing and resting, and might curtail any need for or any want, sorry, or desire to have a fight as quick as something in a recent few weeks' time. Danny Gorfillon asking, Danny, good to see you. Where's Josh? Who's Josh? Don't know who this Josh character is. We've got Donna Corby.
By the way, it's CR91, not 19. You got to show some respect to our chatters. And Danny Gilfillan, I look forward to our rematch very soon.
Did I say CR19?
Yeah.
Wow. It's one of those not Boxing Day. What am I about? Bank holiday hangovers, I guess. That's one of those things. But it was good to see as well too. That there was a little bit of jeopardy, wasn't there? Don't know if you saw this story that half the ring got stolen.
What?
Yeah, do you not see this?
I think I vaguely read something about it. I had a busy weekend.
Yeah, so what happened was the ring crafting team, I believe their van was stolen during the fight week, and half the ring was contained in that van. So, and there was a couple of memes going around of the matchroom team coming in and stealing the van. But they managed to find or locate another ring so the fight could go ahead. But could you imagine the sight of those fighters fighting in half a ring?
Yeah, that's what they would do. Instead of canceling the fight, they would do a half a ring fight. That would be awesome. They should do that more often. I mean, you watch those Misfits fights, they're pretty much done in half a ring, aren't they?
Well, I don't know about those Misfits. Well, half a ring, an extra opponent.
Yeah. Or maybe not.
Someone being swatted. What happened in that event? Don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It was too much to get into on here, but yeah, they had a 2 versus 1, and then one of the guys decided 5 minutes before that he wasn't going to show up. He had an anxiety attack, which obviously is serious, but it's like bad when you're backstage and you're all gloved up and everything. Like he had the wraps on and his gloves had been like signed off and everything. And then he decided, oh no, actually I can't do it. So the other fella had to go out on his own, and he just decided basically, right, if I'm in any danger at all, I'm just going to go down and get the 10 count. So it was a very strange event, and a very small ring too.